Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to open up and disassemble this Dell XPS 159510. So this actually got some liquid spilled into it, so we're going to be taking it apart and hopefully drying it out to get it working. We're using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver, and we're just going to undo all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got 2 here, and then we got 2 more here, and 4 along the front. Alright, let's actually zoom out a tiny bit. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade or repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, it would also help out a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on them as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Alright, anyways, let's continue getting all these screws out and then pop the bottom cover off, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing working properly. Right now the water, I believe, is in the keyboard and the power button, so it's acting crazy. It's just acting like it's typing a whole bunch and you can't even shut down the computer. Okay, anyways, now that we got all those screws out, let's see how we can pop this out. Usually I'll try and get my fingernails in a gap here somewhere, but a lot of times these Dell laptops, they're like super solid, like and there's like no gap there. So this computer is actually trying to turn itself on again, so I need to actually shut it down. So hopefully it will stay shut down. But as you can see, I can't really get, oh, I guess I actually could. Okay, so I got a bit of my fingernail into here. Let's see if we can actually work our way around this and pop it out. Okay, so there you go, we can pop it out. And usually what I do is I push with my thumb on one side and then pull, like prying it like this. Okay, and this is why I actually prefer to use fingernails than pry tools, because pry tools you kind of have to jab it in and then just kind of like wiggle it around. This allows me to actually get like some like better leverage to pry better. Okay, just like that. And as you can see, once we pried the front and this side, we can kind of actually wiggle this out and pop the bottom cover off. So there we go, and I can actually see there's already some water in here. So we're gonna quickly get to the battery, because that's the most important piece that we need to disconnect when there's water or liquid inside a computer. We're going to switch over to a JIS1 screwdriver most likely, and let's go ahead, oh actually, is that a J0 or JIS0 screwdriver? Right, and let's go ahead and remove all these screws to get the battery out. And we actually need a thumbnail here, but I'm kind of in a rush, so let me try and line it up and get that real quick. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and get the battery out. Alright, too much. Okay, so let's continue. We got that screw, we got this screw. Okay, again, keep them all in order. You don't want to mix up these screws. Okay, there we go. Get, oh, really? At the bottom they actually use J1 screws, so at the top they use J0, and then at the bottom they use J1, so you actually want to be careful. I accidentally made that screw a little bit worn out. Good thing I didn't keep turning. The problem is some people, they don't know and they keep trying to use the same screwdriver and then they end up breaking the screws. You don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna get these. Alright, there we go. So we got those screws out. Okay, and next thing we're gonna have to disconnect, obviously. So let's see, can we lift this up here? And we want to actually grab the battery connector and then try and get that out. Pick off some junk from my desk. Alright, so we're gonna zoom in onto the battery connector here. We're gonna lift up. Okay, kind of lift the battery up so we have a little bit more slack, and I like to kind of grab as close as I can to the connector, and then you kind of just wiggle it side to side and we should be able to walk this connector out. So let's see, actually this connector is kind of being a pain. Let's see if I can do it from pushing. No? Wow, this connector looks like it's going to be tough to remove. We might actually have to lift the speakers out to get a little bit easier working on it. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, so this speaker actually has a screw here. Using the J1 or JS1 screwdriver, we'll undo that screw. And let's see, can we lift this up now? So we can lift from here. This side is still kind of stuck. Oh, there we go. The rubber was just holding pretty strong. And then you can unthread this wire from here. It's kind of like routed through those raised mounts. Okay, and now that we got there, I'm gonna actually put one finger underneath the cable and one finger on top. I'm gonna use my thumb here to help pull, and we're just gonna pull this straight back if we can, and looks like this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I had to kind of wiggle left, right, and there you go. We got the battery disconnected. Okay, so now that we got the battery disconnected, we can go ahead and continue working on the rest. We don't have to worry about the power running through. We're gonna remove this other screw so we can actually unroute the whole speaker assembly, or the two speakers. But we do have to obviously disconnect the cable that's here. There's this adhesive on top. Let's see, how's it holding? So peel that, and the connector is, let's see if I can even show this. It's really small, and I don't have much work room here to do that. Right, but anyways, you got this connector, and it's one of these ones that you kind of just wiggle sideways like that, and there we go, pops out. All right, so let's go ahead now and take the whole speaker out. So pull that up, get underneath, pull this up. We'll work this over here. And as you can see, the speaker is attached here with these adhesives. Okay, so once you unthread all of that, we're gonna now lift the whole battery and speaker assembly out. It is pretty dusty, so we'll dust that off. And yeah, so I'm just gonna hold this over a trash can and use a toothbrush. Sorry, I'm doing this off camera because I don't have a camera to show my trash can. But okay, so not all the dust is coming off. There's some like crumbs or something stuck there, but we cleaned it up. It's a lot better now. We're gonna set that aside. Okay, let me find a place to put this. Much stuff going on here. Okay, so I'm gonna set the battery and speakers aside. Okay, then there's also a bunch of dust in here as well, so I'm gonna clean that as well. And again, there's actually a lot of water in there, so we're gonna have to dry that. They weren't able to turn off their computer, so I don't know how much extent of the damage is, but try and dry as much as possible. Okay, and we'll dry this as well. It doesn't look like it went into the headphone jack, so hopefully that's still okay. Alright, but it looks like we're gonna have to completely take everything apart. They did spill on this side of the keyboard. That's where the power button is, and that's what spilled. That's where they spilled, so let's go ahead and take this whole thing apart. I'm gonna clean a little bit more of the dust off. Sorry, I'm going out of view. But the touchpad area has a lot of like fur and stuff in there. Okay. Alright, so now that we got that for the most part cleaned up, let's see what we got to do. We're going to have to take this whole thing apart. There's a lot going on here. It looks like the fans are attached. So let's go ahead and see. It looks like we're going to have to be using JIS1 screws for a lot of it. There's these screws here, but that doesn't seem to be holding the motherboard down. Alright, anyways, let's zoom in here. We're going to have to disconnect this little cable, so flip this latch. Okay, once you flip that latch, we should be able to pull this cable back. So I'll get under here, grab that, and pull that. And there we go, disconnected that. Alright, this is the keyboard FPC, I don't know what that means, fingerprint something? FPC, no, I don't know, keyboard something. It probably also handles the backlight, and it handles also this front, the battery and activity lights. Okay, I should probably zoom out because otherwise I'm going to forget to move the board around to show you guys certain things. So I'm going to leave it zoomed out like this, and hopefully you'll get a good idea. We have a JIS 1 screwdriver. We're going to remove this and see if there's anything under here that we need to deal with. Most likely not, but there's a thermal pad, and yeah, no, we don't need to do anything with that. Oh, and it actually tore a hole in it, so hopefully that's going to be okay. Make sure to line it back up and stick that back down. Okay, we'll get this screw back in, and we'll get this screw back in, just like that. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay, and everything for the most part looks like JIS 0 screws. So we're going to open this up. We're going to press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Alright, this makes it a lot safer to work on, especially since we're going to be disconnecting the LCD, LVDS cables and stuff. So yeah, we're going to hold it. Let's hold it a few more seconds. I think I'm getting some messages here. Give me a second. Okay, give me a second. I'll be back. I need to respond to them. Alright, so let's go ahead and completely remove the motherboard now so we can make sure that all the water has been removed. We switched over to the JIS or J0 screwdriver, and let's go ahead and remove all the screws. Again, keep all the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths, and you don't want to cause damage to the computer by putting the wrong screws in the wrong place. Alright, let's see if we can remove this metal plate. Oh, looks like there's another screw down here holding it. Okay, and now you can remove this, and there's a little water under here. Make sure that's good. I mean, I don't know if you're going to have liquid damage or the same thing, but hopefully not. Alright, you got this I/O board connector here. So this thing, it disconnects by flipping up just like this. Okay, and then we have this side as well. Same thing. Let's see if I can get underneath. Oh, maybe I can't get under there. There's like no room here. Oh, there we go. Okay, flip that latch up and make sure there's no water in there. All right, make sure you don't flip this upside down. There's the I/O to the input output board and the MB to the motherboard. All right, we're gonna set that cable aside. Make sure that's all dry. This cable or this screw we're gonna have to remove as well. That's gonna be confusing. There's a lot of little components here. Okay, remove this one as well. There's a lot of water in here. Oh geez, look at that. See that? Okay. This is why when there's liquid spill, you want to actually take it apart, dry it all up. You don't want to just leave it sitting. Hopefully there's no corrosion here. Alright, there's a flip latch here. You can pull this cable out. Okay, comes out just like that. Hopefully you're able to see. I know it's zoomed a little bit far back. Alright, and this board is kind of trapped underneath the fan. You can kind of pull the fan up a little, and then you can lift and pull this out. I mean, obviously we're going to take that out, so we could have waited and just take the whole fan out, but I wanted to make sure there's no water in here. This is the SD card slot, and it looks good. I don't see any water in there, so I think it's all dried up for now. Cleaned it out. All right, I don't know if there's water in here. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's go ahead and get the fan out here. There's another screw. There's a lot of screws to keep an eye on or keep track of, so yeah, make sure, hopefully you can remember. All right, we got this fan connector. So usually what I do is I grab the wings and I kind of just wiggle left, right, and it should eventually walk itself out just like that. All right, there we go. And there's a little water under here. There's a little drop there. Okay. Oh, this is probably going to be where all the water is. All right, this fan is pretty dusty, so I'm going to clean this out as well. Let me do that, and I'll be back. All right, so you can see this fan's much cleaner now, so we'll set that aside. Oh man, this is a lot of screws. There's a lot of dirt and dust and stuff stuck in here, but we can clean that out once we get the entire motherboard out, so let's go ahead and continue. We got the wireless card here with the antennas holding it down, so we do need to get this out. Okay, Let's remove that screw and lift this metal plate up. Set that aside. There's so many metal plates here. Alright, so we got two cables here. We got this one with a little white thing around it for the white arrow, and then the black arrow is obviously just the black wire. Alright, we're going to get underneath the tail and just pull straight up. You can see that comes out. We're going to move that over here. Same thing here, except this one has a little thing that's going over it, so we have to kind of push it over to the side, and then we can go ahead and lift that up. Okay, come on. There we go. Alright, and then we'll move that over to the side. Alright, so we're getting the screws out. Let's go ahead and continue. We have an SSD here. Oh, that's a JIS1 or J1 screwdriver. I don't think we need to remove this, but I'm going to take it out just to see if there's any liquid under there. I doubt it, but it's always a good idea to check. So they have this little thermal pad and then this SSD, Micron SSD. That's interesting. I've never seen one designed with that chip on it like that before, and it looks dry, so we're just gonna push that back in, get this in. This has a little notch here that has to hook into this piece here, so keep that in mind, and then we'll lower this down. Okay, just like that, and then we've got to put this screw back in. Okay, most likely the water didn't make it to the rest of the board over here, so I think it's all on the left side. So let's see, we're going to just remove the rest of the screws, and then hopefully we can pop the whole motherboard out. Sorry, I zoomed in too much. Hopefully I got everything on camera. Alright, we got one screw over here. So this, we're going to end up with a whole bunch of screws going across the top. Make sure again to keep track. Oh, what kind of screw is that? How come this? Okay, make sure to push down hard on this. This screw, it felt like it was stripped, but I guess not. I don't know, it's weird. Alright, so that stays attached there. So I think these three screws actually stay attached to this metal thing. Maybe that's why it felt weird. Okay, hold this in place. You don't want it to swing around and start knocking things. And there's the cable or the screw for the LCD LVDS cable. And then this thing should just lift up, just like that. Okay, there's two cables for the LCD LVDS. And we'll hold that out of the way. I don't know if this comes up as well. It seems like it moves, but I don't know. It doesn't. Oh, I see. There's two more screws up here, so don't forget those. You don't want to leave them in there and then screw up things. Okay, again, make sure that you push the screwdriver down really well, because these screws are kind of shaped weird. They're not quite, are they? They're not quite completely J0s. It's like an in-between, which is weird. Alright, so push down. So I push down as I twist. Alright, kind of like an impact drill, if you know what those are. Okay. That prevents it from slipping. Alright, so now we got those out. We should be able to remove, or at least lift this plastic thing up. Okay, yeah. So we're just going to lift this and kind of move it out of the way, because I don't think we have to take the whole thing out. Right, let's remove this screw. Alright, there's a lot of screws here. What else? We got all these out. Make sure again that you lifted that out of the way. Something is sticking down here, and I'm not sure what. Actually, I think we do have to remove the SSD here, because I think this copper thing is getting hooked underneath. So at the minimum, we need to remove this copper plate, and we'll just set that aside. Okay, and yeah, now we can lift this more. Okay, actually, let's take the SSD out as well, because I'm going to have to take the board out and clean it up. Okay, we got another fan here. Oops, we have to use the J0 or JS0 screwdriver. Okay, so we got that fan screw, and then another fan screw up here. So we'll get both of those out. And we hopefully can lift this out. Alright, so this fan, we're going to wiggle the connector out just like the other one. Just slowly wiggle it. There we go. And it looks like to remove this, you do have to slide it. So lift this side up and then slide it over. Oh, make sure to lift this over that piece as well. And we can get that. This one's also dirty, so let me clean that up as well, and I'll be back. Alright, so we got that cleaned up now. You can see it's a lot better. Okay. So we're gonna now set that aside. Let's see, you got any more screws? All right, it looks like there's 2 more here, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully we can lift it up after that. All right. That's a lot of screws that we had to remove. Okay, so we got those. Is this plate? Yep, that plate's removable. Okay, so now that we got all the screws out, let's see if we can lift the whole motherboard out. So we'll zoom out a little. All right, and let's see, can we lift this carefully? You don't want to try and just yank it up. Go very slow. Okay, I'm slowly lifting and rotating it this way, and there we go. So let's see, I don't really see too much water here. We did, oh, there's some water here, so that might be an issue. It's all under the keyboard area. Hopefully we're going to be able to dry it all out and get it working. Here you can see the antennas. One is over here and one is over here. You can see the keyboard cable going directly here. Keyboard backlight cable is going right there. And then, yeah. All right, and this is actually for the fingerprint sensor reader. That's what that cable's for. Okay, this is very dirty, so I'm gonna take this outside and dust it off, and then I'm gonna do the same thing, blow this thing out. Though, let's go ahead, we'll actually take out this power button as well, but let me dust this off and then I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Oh, and if you're doing this, you want to actually hold it by the edges and make sure to try and keep yourself grounded if you're going to touch anything. All right, so I'm back. We cleaned this up quite a bit here. All right, all the dust is out from there and there. I did notice quite a bit of corrosion on this USB-C port. Where'd it go? On this side. Oh, okay, I cleaned off some of it, but it used to be like really powdery and white. Actually, at certain angles, you can actually see it's like more green. So let's see if we can scrub that off a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully this port is okay. It did look a lot worse before I started. So yeah, I'm gonna see. I need to actually make sure it's completely dry inside. It doesn't look like it's bad inside, so hopefully it's good, but I'm gonna blow this out and then we'll work on this. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So there's a little bit of liquid under here, or when I blew it out, there was liquid underneath here that was kind of getting splattered out. So let's peel this up, and oh no, you see that corrosion? Hopefully, oh shoot, that's a lot. Okay, so I think it only went up till there. So I'm gonna actually scrub this off with the toothbrush and then blow it out with my powerful electric air blower. Okay, you can actually see there's some corrosion there, that white powdery, and there's some over here. Okay, so let me clean that up. I'll be back, and hopefully this thing will still continue to function okay. I think that's as far as the water got, so hopefully we'll be lucky. All right, so cleaned it the best I could. You can see there's a little bit still there that doesn't want to come out, and you can see some of the corrosion that stuck to this from the liquid that spilled in it. All right, let's see, let's go ahead and brush it a tiny bit more, but I think that's all we're gonna get. Let's go ahead and just stick this back down, and then I'm gonna set this aside and we'll work on this. All right, so set that aside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fingerprint power button. Let's see if we can even peel that up. All right, and let's actually also zoom in a bit more here. Okay, so there are 2 screws here. I don't know if there's any other ones hidden somewhere. It's hard to see this, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna remove these 2 screws and see if we got any luck. Okay, there we go. And let's see, can we lift this up? Is there another screw hidden under here somewhere? We might have to peel up this stuff, so I'm gonna use this little thin pokey tool and see if we can get underneath. Okay, I'm gonna try and peel some of this up. Here, over here, peel that up. Alright, so we can somewhat peel this. This is somewhat of a thermal thing, so I guess we can't peel it all out. Anyways, let's see if we can somehow lift this piece up, but it seems to be stuck there. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, so this cable, in order to lift this up, this whole thing needs to slide that way. So that's going to be a pain, but it needs to be done because that's where the liquid got to. So what I need to do is we're going to have to get underneath this board and then underneath this. So to do that, I actually have a little dropper thing with isopropyl alcohol. We're going to drop some in here and we're going to slowly try and work our way underneath to get rid of the adhesive that's holding it down. Okay, so just like that. And we're going to use this tool to kind of pick underneath. Okay, you can see we can lift it up. Slowly work our way under, releasing the adhesive with the isopropyl alcohol that we sprayed in there. And there's some under here apparently. So we're going to poke under here and peel it up. And there we go. Alright, and then this, again, you have to lift up on this side and then slide this whole thing up. Okay. There we go. So slide that. It's hard to do this. Slide this up. There we go. And oh, that's just to remove. So we didn't have to do that to remove that, but we removed the metal bracket. And now we have to peel that to get this button out. So here is the actual fingerprint button. So I need to make sure this is completely dried. It looks like the button is actually right in there. And the way this works is there's a dot with a metal contact and then there's a ring around it, and the circle that's actually a button, when you push it, it goes like this. It flattens out and it makes the middle touch as well. So anyways, we're gonna try and dry this, and hopefully after that we'll be good. I'll also dry up the keyboard obviously, so I'll take that out and dry all, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I dried it out the best I could. Sadly, this got a little bit torn here, but it shouldn't affect it, other than it'll be known that it was opened. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and brush up this is the power button / fingerprint reader. So we're going to get this back into place, okay? Drop that back in. Okay. Drop this back into place. Just get it all lined back up and you can stick it back down. Alright, then we had this metal plate again that went up here. Okay, and then this, it slides down. So this slides into place here. It's a little bit tricky to get this in. But come on. Come on. Slide that back in. It's so difficult to slide this piece back on. You have to get it lined up just right. And oh, maybe that's that trick. Okay. It might be we have to hold this up with it in here first. Is that what's going on? And then slide this in? I don't know. No, it's too tough to do it. Yeah, I don't know. How did it? Right, let's peel this back up out of the way. Okay, and then let's see, because it has also these little feet that hook in, so it's making it difficult. Okay, maybe I have to do one side first, or there we go. Okay, get that all lined up. Okay, then we got the 2 screws we have to put back in. All right, that one. And this one. Alright, now we're going to stick this back down in place. Okay, I guess either way they can tell we had to peel it up a little bit because it's like wrinkly there, but that tear makes it a little more obvious. Okay, what else do we have next? Let's go ahead and open this up and make sure the button clicks okay. Alright, it feels normal, so hopefully we'll be okay there. Push these hinges down. Alright, next thing, what we gotta do, we gotta get the motherboard back in, so we'll grab that. Alright, there's some dust that's all stuck to it. Okay, so this piece we're gonna have to drop back in. We do have to make sure that the cables that were on top need to stay back on top, so make sure to keep those in place. Line up these little raised things so that when you drop it down that it will land in the right spot. Okay, we have these antennas here, and then this board, make sure that goes that way, and make sure this antenna comes out. Okay, hopefully we're not missing any other connectors, but there we go. Drop that down. Okay, hopefully I didn't accidentally trap any of the connectors underneath. I think that's all of them. Okay, so I guess now we just go in order and start putting things back. So we'll get this fan in first. So this fan goes in, you gotta slide this corner in first, then let that drop in, let that drop in, good. Get this connector lined up. If you're replacing the fan, take note that the solid plastic part on top is face up. You don't want to flip it upside down where the exposed pins are, right? Click that in. So I pinch the two together to make sure it goes in, because sometimes the solder is bad, and then if you push it, you might rip the connectors off, right? It's pretty rare, but it's always a good idea to be extra safe. All right, let's go ahead and get this screw in. Then we'll get this screw in. All right, we got this metal plate that we'll put back on top here. There we go, and we'll get those two screws in. We'll get this one in. And this one down here in as well. All right, we got the LCD LVDS connector. We're gonna first get these plastic mounts in. Okay. Oh. So get that lined up and get this screw in. Perfect. Get the other one. Okay. Get these and click that down. You can actually feel it click. Okay, make sure that you actually feel it click down into place. Then we have this whole thing that we gotta line up. It lines up, there's these raised plastic pieces here as well. We'll get this one in first. If you notice, I actually twist the screws backwards first to make it click. Also, if you're wondering why there's no CMOS or BIOS RTC battery, it's most likely because it's built into the main battery. All right. Oops, we're still using the J0 or JS0 screwdriver. We'll get this screw in. And we'll get this screw in. Okay. We did have this little connector down here that we need to get back in as well. Make sure that latches up. Okay, I'll grab this tab back here, and then we'll pull this back. So pull that back and get that under. Come on, there we go. All right, then we'll slide our finger over to latch it down. Again, you're just sliding your finger over. Don't try and like pick at it or use the tool. Because a lot of people end up ripping these connectors off, so you don't want to do that. Okay, what's next? Well, let's do the other fan. Same thing, you can see the solid plastic part of the connectors face up. You don't want the part with the exposed pins. Okay, so same thing, slide that over. Get that fan there. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Oops, let's actually get the fingerprint connector in first because the fan kind of overlaps it a little. So flip that latch up, get that connector in there. Hopefully you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. In all the way. Okay. Slide your finger over to latch it down. All right, that should be good. Next, we'll get the fan in there. Same thing, line up the connector and then pinch the two pieces together just like this. Okay, got this one screw down here. Don't forget the wireless antennas over here, so hopefully you can see. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All right, and to get this in, we're going to latch this, hook that back on, line this up. Okay, and you want to make sure to get this lined up before you press down, okay, because these connectors are pretty fragile. So, come on. Make sure it's completely lined up. It's really hard to push this because it has to be pushed back a little. There we go. Click that in. This one's a little easier because you can actually feel, like if you move it around, you can feel when it kind of hooks onto there. All right, and then once it hooks on, just click it down. Perfect. All right, so I think the wireless card had this. Was it this one? There's so many little pieces. Yeah, okay, pretty sure it was this one. So get this lined up. And we'll tighten that down. Okay, I wonder if anything is underneath this little cover. So I'm actually going to get my fingernail under there and pop this up. And it looks dry. I just wanted to make sure there was no water in there. Okay, it looks good. I don't see any corrosion. So let's actually get this lined back up. Click that back down. Perfect. Okay, what else? There's this connector here. So where did this one come from? We have this guy with the one screw up top. Let's see. Where was this here? Okay, so I think that one we actually have to do the other one first. Okay, so let's get this board back in place. It goes underneath. Oops, I should have done that first. Okay, so this board goes, again, you have to slide this underneath with that little piece. Okay, like that. Perfect. We got the IO board cable that we got to put back on top. Oh, just kidding. We have to put this on next. Okay, and then this screw goes right here. Hopefully I'm not mixing anything up. Pretty sure it goes there because this cable covers it. All right, then we get this cable on, and this actually has some alignment pins on it, that metal thing. So line that up, click it down. Okay. Then we got this piece here that goes, it also lines up. So there we go. We got those two. Perfect. We got this one screw down here. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. I don't know if I accidentally went out of view. All right, then we got this screw over here. Tighten that. Tighten this guy. Perfect. All right, this looks a little bit corroded, but I think we should be okay. Then we had one more screw up here. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Okay, let's get the SSD back in here. We do need to switch back to the J1 or JS1 screwdriver to do that. Okay, so let's switch back over. All right, and hold this down. While you're holding that down, slide this in into that little groove thing down there, and then lower this on top. Okay. And then we get this screw in place. Okay, there we go. Make sure it's good. All right, what's next? The battery and the speaker. So let's zoom out here. We're almost there. Okay, we have to see the whole base, huh? Okay, so battery and the speakers. So battery, we're gonna line this up, slot it in a little bit, and then lower the thing into place so we can get this speaker in first. Okay, and let's see, come on, get that speaker down. Here we go, and this in. Then this side, same thing. Line that up, get that in. Okay, make sure this wire is outside because we are going to have to route it down properly. We're going to now pinch the battery connector in all the way. Make sure it goes in completely. Okay, looks good. And we'll slot this up there. All right, let's get these screws back in. We got the 2 speaker screws, one down here. Wait, was it at the bottom? Why isn't it screwing it? Were they at... Why is this screw just spinning non-stop? I'm pretty sure it was here. Right? Pretty sure the screw was down here, right? Am I doing it wrong? I don't know. Pretty sure it was there. All right, we're gonna route these back in. Okay. I don't know if the screw got stripped a little or something. Okay, let's get the other one here. Yeah, this one's fine. This one, something, I don't know. The metal here is like stripped or something. So it doesn't actually lock in completely. Huh. Wonder what happened. The threading here is kind of ruined. And I don't think switching the screws will help. I put back the screw where it came from. So yeah, something's wrong with this side. It got stripped out somehow. All right, well, we'll lift this up. Maybe I'll put some super glue or something there because this side's fine. All right, let me see. We'll put some super glue on the screw. It's not going to hold super strong. We should be able to take it out. But I'm just going to put a tiny bit onto the screw, okay? All right. Now we're going to get that in. And I don't think that's going to do anything, but we'll see. I'll just hold it here. My worry is that the screw will just like fall out and start rattling around inside. You don't want that to happen. So hopefully this screw is okay. I don't know what's going on with it there. It still comes out. So something happened here. I don't know. Maybe I can use a piece of paper or something around this, or a piece of this plastic film. Okay, I'm gonna try and thicken the screw just a tiny bit, and hopefully that will be enough to make it stay in properly. I don't know what's going on there, why that happened. We took it out very carefully. Alright, I'm gonna just put it over the hole there, and then let's see if putting the screw will it holds better for sure. Okay, that shouldn't fall out. Okay, now we got to get back all the bottom screws for the battery and then the top screws. These are, again, the bottom silver ones are J1 or JS1 screwdriver, and then the black ones are J0 or JS0, whatever you want to call it. Okay. That one and this one. Then we got to power this thing up and hopefully it works okay. We'll find out. Okay, switched over to the J0 or JS0. Get these screws in. Now that we got all the screws in, minus the bottom cover, let's see if the laptop will still power up okay. Hopefully it will, because we did clean off a lot of corrosion and stuff. Carefully open this up, push the power button, and the keyboard's lighting up and the Dell's on. Alright, and it turned on pretty quick. Hopefully it's not going to start typing random stuff in the password screen box. Alright, let's see, it's taking a while to actually start loading Windows. Hopefully it will start soon. Alright, we'll give it some time. It might be doing a BIOS reset like I said. Oh, okay, so yep, BIOS has been reset. Here you can see XPS 159510, sorry, come on, focus. XPS 159510, time and day of day is not set, so we're gonna go to BIOS setup and then we'll set up the day and time. You don't actually have to set it in the BIOS, you can actually set it in Windows, so keep that in mind. Alright, so we're here, we're gonna go to, is it in boot config? No, it's not in boot. Overview, where's the date and time? Ownership date. Okay, I guess we can't scroll in here, can I? Nope. The mouse is so slow on this BIOS mode. Can I even, okay. Where's the day and time stuff? Boot configuration, integrated display, connection, power, security, update, recovery, system management. No, where is it? About? No. System logs? Nope, don't need that. Where's the day and time? What is this? Boot? Overview? Search? I guess I can use the search option at the top corner here. And date. Update, recovery, BIOS, integrated devices, date. Integrated, why is it in integrated devices? That's a weird place to put it, but okay. And it is October 9th, 2023, so it's off by 1 day. And it is 12:48 a.m., so we'll up one, and we'll change this to 48. Okay, the rest is probably fine. So we'll apply changes. Okay, apply changes, okay. And then we'll exit. All right, and hopefully now it's just gonna boot just fine. Then we'll get the bottom cover on and then we should be good to go. All right, oh, I do need to also clean off the bottom cover, I guess. Okay, you can see it's loading Windows 10 now. So I'll clean this up as well, although probably nothing will really clean off of it. It seems actually I dusted it already, so let me, yeah. And then I'll just use the air blower and blow this out a lot more. And yeah, here you can see October 9th. Let's see if the power button responds. There we go. Push it again. It responded just fine. Push the up arrow. You can see here. All right, and now the thing seems to be okay. It's responding to each key at a time. So I think we should be good. I'm gonna shut it down now. Okay. And I'm going to clean up the bottom cover, put that back on, and we should be good to go. I'm going to flip this over here. Okay, so let me dust this off and make sure there's no water in the headphone jack, and I'll be back. We'll put it back together. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead now, put this thing back on top, put it back together, right, just like this. And it looks like we actually have to worry about this first, so make sure to, lift this back part on, get the hinges into place. Okay, very important you get those in first, then you can go ahead and push that down. All right, click around all around the edges. And then we just got to now put back in all the T5 Torx 5 screws. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, and if you're wondering, I don't recall seeing RAM on the motherboard, so most likely it's integrated. Sadly, you can't upgrade that, but you can upgrade the SSDs. All right, you can add a second one, or you can even upgrade the current one to a larger capacity, or you can downgrade if you want for whatever reason. Okay, so let's get the last few screws in, and that's pretty much it. Again, it'll help a lot if you can watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on them as well. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye. All right, so I don't know how I forgot to show this, but you can pull these two tabs aside. I guess I was mixing up how I worked on another computer as well. Okay, it's hard to do this with one hand, but basically you pull these two tabs to the side at once, then this pops up. You can pull this out, and here you go. This is 8 gig PC4 3200 AA. You should be able to use any PC4 3200 AA RAM, so if you want, you can put two 16 gig sticks. All right. I don't know how I missed that. You're going to see this all in one video. I'm going to actually put it in the right spot. And I think that's, oh, good thing I went back in here. I forgot I had to plug the speakers back in. Okay, I apologize. So this, I guess, will be bonus for people that watch the whole video. All right, make sure you get this in. This cable can be kind of a pain to get in. As you can see, it's not really going in. I have to actually try and push it in here. Okay. And I'm going to get my fingernails and then pinch the two together just like that. And there we go. All right. So did I miss anything else here? I think I got everything. Did I talk about everything? CPU is under here. GPU is under here. You got all these thermal pads for the memory and other stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. Sorry, I was so focused on cleaning up the liquid spill, I forgot to talk about the other components. But yeah, that's it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others, contribute a little to the channel, watch a few others, like and comment on those as well. And yeah, the nice thing with this, at least I would think so, is if you damage this USB-C port, you can actually swap out this whole board here. So that's nice since that board charges the computer. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.